That is a strange innings from Sri Lanka. The final flourish that never came. They started well. You almost felt like England were nervous. There was some serious pressure after the way Pathum Nissanka batted. And even though they didn't keep the momentum after the power play, they still put themselves in a good position. 112 for 3 after 15 overs. You think all Sri Lanka need to do now is get 9 and over with lots of wickets in hand, and they'll go past 160 at least. A bizarre 5 overs that saw just 25 scored with 2 boundaries, one of which was a very fortuitous Chinese, French cut, whatever you want to call it, that Wanindu Hasranga managed to Sam Curran. Otherwise, they've just limped their way essentially to 141. We try and make sense of that innings. Was it exceptional from England? Was it poor from Sri Lanka at the end? All those questions and more shall be answered on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout. I'd love to get into a conversation with Farveez Maharoof in just a moment. Before that, Robin Uthappa and Tom Moody in studio. Could you sum that innings, especially that finish to that innings up, Tom?
Extremely puzzling. I think, firstly, you give credit where it's due. England came back well because they were facing sort of a 170 plus situation. Pathum Nissanka batted exceptionally well, took the game on, and they set themselves up beautifully. But the way they went about those sort of back last 10 overs, I think they got 61 runs and lost 6 wickets in those 10 overs. Was very, very ordinary given the platform that the top order had set for them. And just their approach with regards to how they were trying to score, it was nearly like they weren't prepared to get in line to, get into strong positions to hit boundaries, or if not hit boundaries, hit the ball into the deep, for ones and twos. Very ordinary from the middle order, but we talked about Sri Lanka's middle order being ordinary throughout the whole tournament. Yeah. And they delivered once again. Yeah,
Rajapaksa going with a runner ball 22 courtesy, one lucky boundary at the end. Otherwise, he could be playing that innings at less than a runner ball, Robbie. And Shanaka 3 of 8. It's the problem we addressed. It's a reflection of just their campaign, that finish.
That's absolutely been the situation for them this whole World Cup. And you can't leave so much to, yes, Pathum Nissanka is hitting the ball well, but you can't leave all the responsibility to him to score all the runs. As in, there's some point, if you look at all the batters, Dhananjaya De Silva, as in he at least took the positive route, looked to hit a 6 and got caught in the boundary line. But the other guys, Sri Lanka, bad shot. You could have easily played that over short third man because there's a short ball with short third man in, point in, trying to pull a ball. You just guided that, could have gone for 4, you would have got 4 for that. But nobody else showed intent. And that was what was, including Bhanuka Rajapaksa. And just as in, when he was batting with Pathum Nissanka, you'd imagine, you'd actually want Pathum Nissanka to bat till the 17th or 18th over, bat all the way through. And
Rajapaksa
to actually take off, And then even when the leg spinner was bowling, he wasn't even showing intent to take off. And that seemed kind of strange to me. You want to show a little bit more intent, especially when you have a batsman going off for you and coming off for you. You want to take pressure off him so that he bats long for you. To have that cricketing sense and as a senior pro within the group to say, okay, you know what, I want to take pressure off him and let me play positively. Let me try and score runs. If you get out trying to do that, so be it. You're at least making the attempt in the right direction. And you didn't see that happening. And so there's too much pressure on Nissanka, and who tried to play one too many shots, ended out getting out, and then more pressure on all the batters.
It's the role that we've been crediting Surya Kumar Yadav doing when Kohli's at the other end, or Glenn Phillips doing when Conway or Williamson at the other end. But Farveez, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. The Rajapaksa innings puzzling all of us, Sri Lanka's intent puzzling all of us. How would you describe that finish?
Yeah, quite poor. I thought the first 10 overs Sri Lanka were brilliant. The last 10 overs, mentioned about 61 for 6. I mean, intent, yes. I thought, more than intent for me, there was no planning. I think, as Robbie pointed out, when you have a batsman who's settled, batting in nicely, started very well, you want Pathum Nissanka to continue at least the 17th, 18th, maybe 19th over. But when you have a left-hander sort of Bhanuka Rajapaksa, who is renowned for his big hitting, 6 hitting per overs, why not use it against Rashid Khan? Yes, he bowled, bigger pardon, Adil Rashid. Yes, he bowled a lot of googlies way outside the off stump, but still, you'll still back Bhanuka Rajapaksa to take that ample. And also Dasun Shanaka, we mentioned about, he has had a poor, quiet tournament. He continued to do so. I mean, what alarming is the extra pace, not so extra pace with Sam Curran. Still, he was struggling to get that away. And also, we addressed about Sri Lanka having the trouble facing the extra pace of 150 plus, which was quite evident today when Mahmood was bowling. Some of the batters not even trying to get in line. They're trying to give so much room, and they're getting caught. Getting caught, ball coming to the body. So I reckon very poor finish. I would say I can use the way pathetic how they batted in the last 5 overs, just 25 runs in good conditions, one short boundary, just not good enough.
Yeah, it's a fair summation. Good, strong words used by Farveez Maharoof because it's an opportunity lost after they started well. That's an area of concern too. But Nissanka gave them the start. But like Tom Moody points out, let's credit England. They did their bit, right? It's easy to perhaps get under pressure in the situation, and perhaps once you see one guy go, you think, oh my God, is this going to be that sort of day? But England held their nerve well, didn't they, Tom?
They did, and all based around Adil Rashid, the way he bowled. He bowled exceptionally well. He sort of rescued the situation for England.
Yes.
You know, they were going at sort of nearly 9 and over, and he bowled one over in the power play, and then continued to bowl in the middle of the innings and really put the brakes on, and it allowed the other bowlers to sort of, I suppose, reap the rewards of the pressure that was being built. So again, an excellent performance from him, who's another one of those highly underrated spin bowlers in this format of the game.
Yeah, when he's bowling well, what makes Adil Rashid hard to sort of take down?
I think his rhythm. I think he's the disciplines that he bowls and the way he executes what he's planned against each batter. I think when things are going his way and he's not under the pump, he executes them really well.
Yeah.
And but one thing about him is he absorbs pressure really well.
Yes.
Another one of those characters who's unfazed by the results of the previous ball. He'll still back himself to get a wicket, and I think this is the first wicket he got in this World Cup. But doesn't seem like it was the first wicket he got in this World Cup. It seems like he's been getting wickets and bowling well in every game, and that's exactly what England would want from a player like him, who's like not the lone spinner, but your genuine spinner who's going to be bowling 4 overs for you under any circumstances.
Yeah. Tom?
I think the Sri Lankans missed a trick too. After losing the first wicket, not bringing one of their left-handers into the crease. We know Dhanajaya Silva's a good player, but he's another right-hander, and what that does, it sort of forces England's hand with regards to when they're going to bring the leg spinner on and all those types of things. So there's a tactical play there, I think, that was missed, particularly given they've got 2 left-handers that sit in the middle, and it was a nice way just to employ that sort of difference to be able to say, okay, well, we're going to show our hand here. What's your response to this? And maybe again, just to add on top of that, we saw a pretty ordinary back 10 overs, but until both teams bowl on this surface, we'll see whether the wicket did slow down and become a little bit harder to score. So maybe the hay has to be made while the sun's shining in the first 10 overs.
Yeah, I like that you bring up that point of the left-hander, especially where you could see today again, like many of these grounds, there's one shorter boundary to the other. It seems like they've been committed to this, Farveez. Batting Dhananjaya De Silva at 3. I mean, Maila Jayawardene loves this left-right hand combination and all the other teams he plays at. He's still with the Sri Lankan team. I'm finding it a bit amusing that they continue with Dhananjaya at 3 when they had the option to just carry on that momentum with the start they got.
I think the temptation would be to stick to the game plan, stick to the same batting order. But I completely agree with Tom. I mean, sometimes you got to take proactive decisions. I mean, the situation where they started really well, first 5 overs, and also that there's Adil Rashid, there is Liam Livingstone who's going to get you the overs. I mean, I would have really tempted to get Charita Salanka or Banu Rajbaksh at number 3. So I think even in the Asia Cup, proactiveness in this team has not been taken that much. I mean, you look at the good teams like England, New Zealand, Australia, they take the proactive route, especially in T20 cricket. But with Sri Lanka, they like to, stick to that tried and tested method, which sometimes can go against you. I mean, a good example was today.
All right. You know what? Somebody made the point. Don't judge until we've seen both teams bat. Who knows this worn-out SCG track? Is it making batting harder? Will England find it hard to chase 1-4-2? Normal circumstances, I'm sure both of you would say England favourites here. But Mahesh Theekshana has started. It's one of those scores, Tom. You're not quite sure whether they're going to go hard, gun it down, just get the job done. They know they just need to get the job done. Do you see a twist here in store for us?
I hope so, because it'd be a great spectacle.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine England are going to go hard at this total and try to break the back of it in the first 10 overs. That suits their style of play. But it's going to be very interesting to see what the Sri Lankan spinners can do on this surface.
Yeah, Mahesh Theekshana has got the new ball. He's bowling that ball that Finn Allen struggled with, and he's seen before. And Josh Butler's in 10 if 2 balls, anything to go by. It's not to hang around and take it deep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think they look to be hanging around. I think they'll like to get off to a good start, especially with these smaller targets. It's always good. It's always good to get off to a fairly decent brisk start, so that you kind of close the game there itself in the first 6 overs. But you risk losing too many wickets in doing so.
Yeah.
But so you have to be cognizant of that fact as well.
Yeah. Case to bring in Wanindu Hasaranga and the power play, who doesn't usually bowl there, Farveez, with 2 right-handers there. Let's get him on early. Farveez, you got me? Okay, I think Farveez, we're having trouble.
Raunak, I
getting
lost
through
you
to him.
there.
Yeah, sorry, you've got me back now. Yeah, I was going to say maybe Hasaranga and the power play, just throw all your aces in the first 5, 6 as well with 2 right-handers. Okay, I'm going to try and get through
Definitely,
to
I think
Farveez.
my station and
Okay, yeah,
Maharoof
sorry,
are
I've got
like
you. I
to
think there's
see
just a
them
bit of a
bowl
delay. Carry on,
most of their
Farveez.
overs in the first inning.
Yeah.
Yeah, first few overs, I think go with Wanindu Hasaranga and my station, try and pick up wickets. With England, I think the best time to bat is with the new ball. So try and score much as England can and put the pressure on the bowlers who's going to bowl in the middle overs.
All right. Well, the message did not go through in time to Sri Lanka as well. They ran out of time. They could not get the big finish. But can their bowlers make a game out of it? They have to take every chance that is presented their way. And Australia are watching these 20 overs very, very carefully, or how many overs it turns out to be. Let's hope for a good one and pick up the chat at the end of it, where we will know the 2 semi-finalists from this group for this World Cup. Join us then on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout.